chop it. All right, choppers. Nice to see you. Snog, kiss, lips, petting, no heavy petting, bombing, diving, running. I am shafted, absolutely shafted. I lost my comb. You would be surprised. Well, those amongst us who maintain a level of class, decorum and style won't be surprised. But to lose your comb, I was fucked. I combed my hair with a fork. Let me show you. Oh, we were so close to a double Natasha. Nearly broke the candle. Hang on, let me just show you what it's like to comb your hair with a fork. Look at all this mess. You've never seen that before, have you? I'm never usually this unmanageable. It's all been going very bad. Lost my comb, broke my chair. Look, I'm on a standard chair, like a chair. That's not like an office chair with wheels and recliner. No, and I tried to pretend it wasn't broken. I mean, it gets quite hard to pretend it's not broken when it's that broken. Like that's a wheel, one of 5. And so with just a 4, but I worked out that if you put the broken wheel forward, where the absent broken wheel forward, you've got your feet counterbalancing it, haven't you? Until you forget and you sort of go, oh, what's that? Hey! And a couple of times, of course, I forgot and the chair's sitting there and I just sat down on it and went flying, smashed my elbow. That's really sore. Broke my blind. Blind covers a window that's about 9 foot long. Sounds like nothing. First world problems. Yeah, but they're my fucking first world problems. And when I work in the morning, the sun boosts Cadbury's. What's that? What's a Cadbury's boost? Oh, it's like biscuit, isn't it? Biscuit. It's like a Star bar without the real poo and biscuits instead. But the sun comes in, I can't see the screen. So I can't write, work, watch until about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So that's a problem. I tried to repair it, shredded my arm up. You probably can't see it on the, you can see a little bit of it there. Literally lacerated. Right? So then that happened. What else was broken? Bench outside was broken. I had to get the landlord over because a rat died. Right? This rat, this rat without the tail. So this is head to anus. This isn't head to tail. It was about that big. Its biggest part of its body was about that big. I swear to you, it was they're not. Do you remember the bag of rats? Do you remember I told you about the bag of rats? Well, it wasn't that bad. Oh, better be careful doing that. Why do that when I've got a comb? Let's just comb that out of the way. So the blind, the chair, then the rat, and the rat was stuck, and it was a sad. Let's just have 10 seconds silence actually for that rat. No, that'll do 3. But he'd obviously tried to get through this hole, but he couldn't get all the way through, so his big bum was sticking out. That's the big bit, I'm telling you. Maybe that's why it was bigger, because anyway, so his arse and back legs were sticking out of this tiny little hole in some kind of thermalite block. So Wiltenschatten, very, very encouraging to be getting early varts. I mean, I know I haven't been here for ginger, gingers should be crucified. And so all that broke, but the rat, right? I showed it to my girlfriend. I said, "Look at that rat's ass." Literally a saying, a phrase. I said, "Look at that rat's ass. I'm rat-assed." And she said to me, she went, 2 days, soina, which means 2 days, smell very bad. And I woke up. Now this rat's ass is down a flight of stairs. I woke up in that room there I'm just pointing at it with my comb. In that room there, I could smell something that was just... Imagine you made a little organic robot, organotron, android, ratustroid. He will do it. Right? Imagine you made a machine that went round all the bins in your city, right? No, stay with me on this. You made a machine that went round all the bins in your city and ate any real poo that it found, any maggots that it found, any rotting flesh that it found, any half-dead snakes that it found, anything that you imagine the worst, like the fat that someone cut off a steak and put in their bin that's been sitting out in the 35-degree sunshine for 4 days. This machine you've made, it's getting all that inside it. Then all that stuff inside it's getting broken down. Wiltenschatten is getting broken down with body fluids, and then the machine's turned off. So it all just sits there. And then one day, and please, if you're eating, don't. Either mute it or don't eat. Or be very, very brave. So when I've woken up and it was the scent of Hades. It was hell's perfume. I'm not fucking you about, all right? I followed my nose. It was like the Exorcist meets the Bisto advert. And I went down the stairs and it was getting, and I knew what it was. I thought, that's that rat. I can smell ratus. I can smell. And when I got there, now remember I said that it had sort of tried to get through a hole in, you know what thermalites are? They're like breeze blocks. And so some of the cement had come out and it had tried to get through an hole about that big. Now, rats they can crush their bodies, but not that much. And so the back end was sticking out. But I tell you what, the back end now, like a day later, was about that big. What? I will deal with all those, and thank you very much. Very encouraging. I've got a cracking show as well. I've got a tape. Roll VT. Got some interesting things to say about passion today. I'm making a standalone video about passion, but because it's on the brain, I've got passion on the brain. Passion on the brain. White lines, vision, dreams of passion. So it will no doubt come out when I show you some of these clips. But this thing, the rot inside had grown and exploded. Because as I was just going, I noticed there was like a splatter on the right of it. And there was just like a tear in the side of the rat. Now, whether another animal, it's a dog-eat-dog world, people. Whether another animal, a bird maybe, bird-eating spider, an albatross, who knows? But something had punctured the dead or dying, swollen filth intestines of the rat, causing it to gobber. And the fucking... I have never... I've smelt terrible things. I remember I took a bird home once and she said... I took her in my bedroom and she said, can we go in the front room? I said, why? She said, your bedroom smells like old men. I was only about 30. I mean, she was only 4, so it kind of makes sense. And I had to call my landlord. I said, I don't mean to be an arsehole, but my blind's broken and there's half a dead expanded rat hanging out the wall and it stinks of shit. I haven't got the photo ready. Don't worry, I haven't got a photo of the half expanded dead rat, but while I was down there, I send it to my own Telegram. While I was down there, look at the night my neighbour had. Now, I tell you what, if the Cambodian government see what I'm about to show you, the person who done it will be in a lot of trouble. This is really disrespectful. Okay, I'll do that. I'm just going to put it on my own Telegram so that I can then show you. My missus was fuming, and it was really, really, really encouraging. I was really impressed to see her upset, upset at the disrespectful behavior of her religion. That's her religion. It means something to her. But while I was looking at it, I saw this downstairs. Oh, no, right, what do? I copy that, close that. I get me art software out. I'm going to have to close a load of windows. Hang on a minute. Oh, God. Oh, no, it's gone all fucking all over the shop. Close. Do you want to save changes? No. No. I might keep that one up, actually. Right. So finally, have a look at this, right? Have a look at this. Oh, actually, you can't even see me very well, can you? Let's sort that out. Is that a bit better? All right. Yeah, I've had the old Barnet done. Look, what do you reckon? Nice fade, huh? Nice fade. What do you make of that fade? So I need a fork. Oh, by the way, I found it. I found the comb, though. Taylor's of Bond Street. Let's just put that back into place there. Thank you. Have a look at what I saw outside the downstairs neighbours. Outside, I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't know how to do this. Outside the downstairs neighbour's front door. Check it. So there you go. Some shoes on a Buddhist, what's that called? Not a mantra, a tantra or something. Some shoes on this Buddhist, there's a name for it, isn't it? It's not a mantra or a tantra. Oh, hang on. Oh. That's like having shoes, and they're very funny about shoes out here as well. You don't touch people with your shoes. You don't show the bottom of your feet. To have that on that, but that as well. I mean, it's a dildo, for fuck's sake. That is very unpleasant. What a peculiar night they had. Yeah, my missus was fuming, absolutely fuming. Right, so a couple more things. I got any? Did I clean all that up? Did everything end? Why am I so low? I took the cushion out, didn't I? Yeah, that'll do. End broadcast. I've barely started, so. Right, let's get some hellos in and let's say thank you to some donations. Hang on a minute. Give me seconds. Won't take much longer than seconds. Yizza. Let's get Yizzes over here. Let's do this. Right, I've got some cracking clips for you. I've got some cracking comments. And I've also, interestingly, I've got some of you might have already seen it on my Telegram, but it's kind of interesting. I worked out how a trick was done, and I put the piece, a magical trick. I put the pieces together, and I think you'll quite appreciate it. Oh, and also, I want to say such a gargantuan thank you to those of you who read my Substack. I put out a new Substack, Reggae Sauce, more real poo. And I got the stats in today, and in the first 24 hours, 1,600 people read that. I mean, I'm going for the 1,000 true fans rule, and to have 1,600 people, and they're not new people. Well, I get a couple every day new, but they're people who know my stuff, who've read it. That's not people who received the email. That's people who went to the site. So it might include people who got the email. Fuck knows. Or opened the email, perhaps. Anyway, whatever. Thanks if you did, and especially thanks to the people who left comments. Don't worry, people. This show is going to kick into gear in any minute. I am really tired. It won't wreck the show though, because I'm good on fumes. It all comes out. Arse wipes. Yiz says, "Come for the dead rat stories, stay for the farts." Nice one, Yizzle. Always a Prasha Kanatu. Bosh. Let's run back here. Hello, Mousecat. Hello, Crosshatch. Hello, Packer. JP. Pax Max October. I'm just saying them as they go, actually. Hello, Andrew. Hello, Dawn Browning, you absolute charmer. Chrissy. Hello, Glenn Gooner. We're having a right time of things, aren't we? Hello, Carl. All right, there's Summer. Chasworth. Rags. Des Vault. Hoita. Nice one, Rags. Much appreciated, Kanatu. There's my man, Planet X, Avic Grifter. Thank you, mate. Very kind. Hello, Emma. He does have a Substack. Hello, Robin. I'm all right, mate. I've been doing a lot of hard work. I've been working hard. It's traditionally a very quiet time of the year. And with the pound against the dollar, it's been like, nay. But, you know, when the tough get going, yeah, and the rest of that phrase. Rockhoppers on the firm. Good to see thee. Hello, Livy. I'll tell you, I want to know who's in here. Hello, 692. That's a leg, Chris. No, that's a leg. Hello, 42. Clark, hello, son. Nice to see you. I'm not actually. Lulu. We need to communicate. We can use Google Meet. I'll email you after this stream. If you've got 5 minutes after this stream, we can get that bit of information sorted out. So if you've got 5 minutes after this stream, I'll ping you an email, and so look out for it. If you haven't, just send me an email now, or if you leave the stream and say you haven't. All right, it'll be a lot easier like that. It'll only take a couple of minutes. You don't have to put your face on camera. You just have to listen to me. There's a rat in my kitchen. What am I gonna do? Hello, Looms. Right, a couple more. Lil Bullet. Hey, boss. Oi, Scrubs. Nice one, Lil Bullet. Good to see you, son. Dawn Browning. 20 big Australians. Rats lives matter. There you go. It was an awful sight, though, the exploding arse back of rat. Aztac's gone first name. Thanks for that, though, Browners. Aprash Kanatu. Send my regards to Master B. Yeah. Right, I think I have... Oh, Picard. Packer, that's more words than you've ever written. I thought that's more words than you know. Did someone buy you a dictionary for your birthday? Oh dear, you've lost your lovely tortoiseshell comb and a comb in your bonds with a fork. Suddenly, my blue plastic comb doesn't seem so shit. And how did you feel when my Tailors of Bond Street comb, oh yeah, comes straight back up? Yeah. Nice one, Picard. A price Canuto. Hope you and yours are good. Right. Hello, Daffyd. Nice to see you. Hello, Mr. Bontoft. Hello, James Ayworth. Right. I know I've missed loads of people. Hello, Ludwig. I'm just zooming past and seeing them as I can see them. That means very little, but, you know, who cares? Oh, hang on a minute. Chrissy! Thank you, Chrissy. Thanks, Schrodinger. Hello, Matt. Hello, Archie. Right, we're gonna hit this right now. Yeah. A bit of you was quite glad. I'll tell you what, though, Packer. I made that video years ago, didn't I, about buying quality goods. When I used to get shitty combs or just nick my mum's, I didn't care about them, so I lost them. Now, a girlfriend bought me this, Tailors of Bond Street. Weirdly, Tailors is on German Street, but they've got a shop on Bond Street. It's like 30 quid comb. Now, I wouldn't pay 30 quid for a comb. Well, I might have done then when I had money, but not now. But because it means something to me, I've had it for 15 years because I don't want to lose it because I know I won't get another one. So it's a false economy. Mitch Hedberg said he bought a $20 pen because he was sick of buying $1 pens and losing them. It makes sense. It absolutely makes sense. Look at Mousecat. Absolutely raising the Barnet game. My ear would break the teeth of that comb, like Tyson whacking a vegan. Fucking hell. Good God. There you go, Carl. That's it. Buy cheap, buy twice. Well, more than twice even, but I know the saying works better like that. It would be rubbish if it was buy cheap. You'll end up buying several more versions over a longer period of time because they're not as good quality as buying a decent one the first time round. So I do understand why we've used twice there. Hello, Mrs. Meehan in it. Meehan in it. Who the fnick is Meehan in it? Hello, Mrs. Meehan in it. You know. Exactly, Ludwig. Exactly that. Robin says, on their last day at my school, some sixth formers locked a bunch of animal organs in a locker in the school hallway. I was in the maths class, absolutely rancid. Hang on, I don't understand. But I don't understand what? When you came back? Rags says, Chris, you're a bastard. Well, thank you, sir. That's pleasant. I'm obsessed with cobblers, cordwainers, please, and handmade. Oh, actually, they are cobblers you're talking about, aren't they? Like the geezer at the in the Frome shop and handmade shoes videos. They're excellent. That's why they're absolutely. Have you seen Kirkby Allison when he goes into the John Lobb handmade shoes? When that the history behind Lobb shoes is incredible, and old Kirkby Allison's a ledge. You probably have seen it. No, they're great videos. Why not? Be interested. That's our culture. That's our culture. That's British culture. We invented that style. We wanted nice things on our feet. Now, a lot of you know I'm in the lockpicking game, right? Now, my business partner, you'll like this. My business partner, let me just grab a couple more while we're here. Hang on. He tried to get some images made using AI. You know what I think about AI, don't you? I'm not too impressed, right? I've just got to chop these up. Hang on. He put some images into this AI image maker, right? And the information he said, and you talk to this AI like you request it to make images in English, right? And he said pictures of he wrote a locksmith picking locks with lockpicks, right? That's what he told the AI. Have a look at what it come up with. But actually have a closer look, because it's weirder than it at first. This is very acidic. This is LSD AI. Have a look at this, but have a proper look. So, like I say, he said to the AI, a locksmith picking locks with lockpicks. Now, look at that hand for a start, right? Can you see my cursor? That thumb is in no way attached to the same hand that finger, right? That's the first thing. Second, what's that? What is that? What's that? What is that? I mean, that isn't even a thing in the real world, is it? Hello, Bison American Club. That's not even a thing that exists. That's not a tool. What is that? What's the lock? What is that? Look, what's that? A little bit of cufflink there at the bottom. That AI is so shit. Look at that. If I said to you, have a look at that, would you say, oh, it's someone picking a lock? Or would you say, I'm tripping? That is absurd, isn't it? Is that just me? Or yeah, hello, Plastic African. It's really weird, isn't it? It's just peculiar. Hello, Bricktator. Oh, I like the contraction. You've contracted Brick and Dictator. Bricktator. So that is absurd, right? Hello, Barney. Mrs. Meehan dreamt about calling me, and someone did call me in the night. I can't speak Callum. No one can speak Callum. It is peculiar. Ludwig. AI doesn't care what it looks like. Right, hang on. Hello, Marzipan, over there on Twitch, Rooney. It is a bit darly. I'll give you that. Willow says it's updated operation. Right, but hang on, it's not the only one. We got some other absolute malarkey. Look at this. Look, hang on. Hang on a minute. What? What are those things, though? It's almost giving me the shivers. Yeah, there you go, Pax Max. Great call. That's a great idea, actually. Reverse LSDJ image version. I show you the picture and you have to tell me what I typed in. But look at that. What is this weird little almost leopard skin flunt? Look at it. I mean, fair play. They've got, at least there's a padlock shackle there. Bit of belt, bit of someone's belt. It's really weird, isn't it? John wins. John absolutely wins. Is that a cardigan lock? It is. Yeah, it's on a bit of cloth, isn't it? Right, so we've got one more, and I think I've saved the most peculiar till last. Hang on, I don't want to ruin it. This one's peculiar because it's what? What are those things? What's that golden bit? Look at. Hang on, sorry, I'm sorry, it's jumping around. I mean, hang on. Oh, you've got the old thumb. Look at the thumb. Look at the legacy thumbnail. Yeah, see the legacy thumbnail. Oh, but then another double nipple thumb, triple double thumb clicker. What? bit of leather there. Little nail on the leather. Bit of red. AI is crap. Look at the. But you see what I mean about the legacy thumbnail? That's the end of the thumb, and the old AI just went. Put that. It ain't quite reaching the nothing. So why don't we put another thumb with a fingerprint on it? Ooh, computers. I can't read that out, but I'll put it on the screen as a warning for other people not to say things like that. It's a hole puncture for a belt. Well, they do actually exist, of course, but it ain't that. It's weird, isn't it? No Cat Popeye. I mean, look at this. Look at. No one's even mentioned the turnip finger. Look at turnip finger. That thumb. Anyway, there you go. That made me giggle. Now, I am actually going to go and have to have a quick wee, which is terrible because I haven't even got the show on the road. But if you let me. Imagine you said no. No, you can't. But you'll have a better show if I'm not sitting here for the next 2 hours. Well, 1.5. I've got to get some sleep. Needing a pee. So let me do this. And I've got something really amazing to show you next. In the Culture Slam. The Culture Slam. Humans doing silly things. So come on, son. You'll be alright, lad. You'll be alright, son. No worries. You'll be alright, lad. Ain't gonna take much longer now. Come on, lad. You'll be alright. Just pop that in there. Put that in there. Close that. Let's see what that comes on. We've got some batteries in my vehicle. Right, the show is about to start. Do you know what I mean, Cole? That's a great point. I mean, the weird thing is computers can't be arbitrary. You know, I remember as a kid, used to on a spectrum in basic put RND, random, and then the range of numbers. It used to keep me up at night thinking, how does a computer pick a number? If you say generate a random number between 1 and 250, computer can't do it. How does it go 4? It doesn't. It actually uses part of its processing and it lets something it's already doing pick the number, if you know what I mean. Oh yeah, computer. So that AI, how does it fill in the gaps? How does it think, yeah, I'll just put a brass curve there a bit. It's a little bit like something nearly like what he asked for. Right, next thing I want to show you. If you already saw this on my Telegram, apologies, but it's definitely worth a watch. Right, you will have to, well, if you want. Right, so I'm going to put an image on the screen. I advise you to do this. Right, have a look at this picture and then walk back. So say you're looking at the screen like this, then sort of walk away from your computer screen about 6 meters. You'll know when. So you'll see a picture of Albert Einstein. Now bear with me, this isn't the amazing bit. So you see Albert there. So walk back. It's worth doing. It might actually work if I just make it smaller. There you go. See what happened there? There you go. So Arius done it. Willow done it. So look, I'll leave it for the people who are doing the walking. Yes, 42. That does work as well. Yeah. And I'll tell you something about that in a minute. That's very interesting. So this, if you saw my... see, it becomes Marilyn Monroe. So this is to do with spatial frequencies. We don't need to worry about what that is at the moment, right? So this was discovered years ago. High and low spatial frequencies. But then someone mixed the idea of spatial frequencies, as you've probably seen if you see my Telegram, with typoglycemia. I've got another one for you, right? Have a look at this. This is going somewhere worth hanging around for. This is kind of a chill stream, but I have got a tape. Roll VT! So have a look at this, right? You can... I don't know if this one works with the walk, actually. Yeah. You don't even have to walk anywhere near as far. Check this one out. Please do the walk because it will make everything better when we get to it. The denouement will be better. So there you go. It says month. Now walk back only a couple of meters. Diva fever, it is going somewhere. So it says month. Now walk back a couple of meters. How's that? How's that working out? There you go, Planet X Arius. And I can show you just by doing it, like making it smaller. Look, it says March. It says month. Look how up close. It's the same image. I'm only making it bigger and smaller. That's clear as day, month, isn't it? And then you make it smaller. And it changes to March. Now, there you go, Dawn. They live. There you go. Well, if all you see is March, you might want to get your eyes tested, Rags, because you should be able to see month when it's what you can't see. Rags, not joking. You can't see month when it's that big. Well, no one can because I can't get it central on the screen. Oh, for frick's sake. Surely, Rags, does that not say month to you? Well, that's how the filter works around here. That's how the filter works. Right, so there's that, right? Now you'll understand how this trick is done. Because I got hold of this trick years ago, and it's a nightmare to perform. If the different levels of light change the cards, if someone wears glasses and they're not wearing their glasses, that can fuck it up as well. So I reckon these blokes, to do this in this show, they must have had a variety of different cards, different brightnesses and all sorts. So this is a couple of English magicians. I know them. Well, I don't know them. They're quite well-known magicians, David and Lehman. Have a look at this little trick. And now I showed you that. Leave him alone. Oi, Rags. Willow said you need ears to see March. Right, now, have a look at this. Hello, John. Good to see you, son. Now, have a look at this. Have a look at this magic trick. Have a look at that. What I just showed you. Look at what you can do with it if you've got the balls to pull it off. I might get yeeted, but hopefully we won't have to show too much of it because everyone on this show is nauseating. But here we go.
Completely safe.
Completely safe. We're pseudoscientists.
We are pseudoscientists tonight.
You have to touch? But that's okay. I came prepared. Okay.
I'll fast forward a bit of this. Who is that bird, though? She's hot as hell, right? An absolute beaut. Right, hang on.
Squeeze here, you lose the ability to play the piano. Can you play the piano?
Oh, there's such weak gags. What an absolute sellout. What an absolute sellout. Used to be a shock jock. Now he's just an absolute toes the party line. Fuck you. Anyway, let's get to the trick. Right, this should be it.
That's right. We brought these cards with words written on
them. So that, what I just showed you, this is how you put it into a performance situation. And that ain't Amanda Holden. I've met Amanda Holden. I can assure you that ain't Crosshatch says just your typical blonde. Heidi Klum, that's it. Just your typical blonde. Crosshatch. Right. Hang on a minute. Let's have a look at what Crosshatch reckons is just your typical blonde. Hang on. That was when she was working for Victoria's Secret. Fucking hell, man. She's absolutely storming. Just your typical blonde. Nothing to see here. Absolutely gorgeous. What a beautiful woman. Hello, it's a duck. Beautiful. Imagine being a woman and having that much power. Good Lord. I reckon that 99% of men would doing anything for that. Just good God. Lumi. That's more like it, eh, Lumi? Schrodinger's Gaffney. No, she's not all that. No. Send us some pictures through of your birds. I like women. I just think women are beautiful. I'm happy to like women. I don't like to middle of the road them because they don't affect me like that. They affect me with passion. They affect me. They make me want to fuck and all that sort of thing. Right, let's have a look how this trick works. Let's have a look how low and high spatial frequencies with a bit of typoglycemia could make quite the interesting effect.
And these words all pertain to you, Howie. Okay?
I will once.
Have you got audio? Yeah, of course, Planet X. I mean, it's just people being ridiculous. Good Lord. sounds a bit rapey. Are you an NPC, Tom? Wanting to fuck a beautiful woman is rapey? Good Lord. I do apologise. Here we go.
Once again, pressure for all you. You what? I'm gonna squeeze your head.
Taking away his ability to read.
Can now no longer read.
Right. Judges, yes or no? Can you read this word?
Yes.
Yes. Howie, yes or no? Can you read this?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and sound it out.
What's not? Cannot.
It's okay, but judges, you can read this, right?
We
Yes.
can. This is
Yes.
weird, right? Now to make sure we're not doing anything trick, we have a camera.
Wait.
Camera, come in here.
Is it a word?
Yes.
Yes.
It's a word you know.
Yes.
See, you're screwing with me.
No.
Show me it.
We'll show you. We'll show you.
Okay.
Judges, yes or no? Can you read this?
Yes.
It's a word you know.
Yes. It's a word you know.
Okay.
Howie, yes or no? Can you read this?
Corn poops.
What is it?
Gora poops.
People at home.
Gora
You know,
poops.
read that.
You can read that. They can read it. They can read it.
Hey, I'll forward it till the last one because this is obviously. So this is what I just showed you. The people at the panel, because they're further away, you can see that's his name, Howie Mandel. But when you show it to his face, they obviously haven't got it saying month and March. They've just got ridiculous any old letters. Let's see what he says when he can't read his own name.
One more, yes?
Yes.
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 Howie, just this last one. What is this one?
Havlo mono.
I mean, you've got to give, even if you're not into conjuring, even if you're not into light entertainment, it takes balls to actually try and pull that sort of thing off in that sort of situation. They must have really, they must have tested that, because just a change in the lights, and those places, the lights are changing all the time, just a change in the lights. If a camera that's a bit further away has a look at the card, it will say Arvlo, Blanglo, or whatever. It's hang on, what are these people weird? All rehearsed. Carl, what are you talking about? Fake magic? There's no real magic, John. It's all fake. Is that Jeff Bezos? He's lying. Why would he? This is weird. Why are people like this? We had this the other day. What was it? King of the Streets. Fake. It's fake. What? Tell me why. Now look, you might be right. I'm never 100% about anything, but it's more work to fake it. I've just shown you how it works. I don't understand why they'd make it theatre when they can actually do the trick, because humans are very good at spotting deception. And if it was, Howie Mandel is not an actor. These people aren't actors, they're entertainers, and I don't even know what they fucking are. Disc jockeys, DJs. Hi, Mike Reed. Sitting there beforehand and going, right, you're going to have to pretend that you can't read it, and then it doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. I don't understand it, and this is why it gets me. This is why it's a fake, and this is fake, and it's all real. This is why it gets me. It's kind of a low rent comment. It's sort of like, I don't understand it, so I'm just going to write it off. Nah, it's lies. But tell me why. Give me some evidence. You might be right. Of course I could be wrong. But surely I just demonstrated how it's done. It's like really clearly. I don't understand why you're yeah, I know. But we've had people on here say that. I've played about 10, 15 fights from King of the Streets, and people like, it's fake. And I don't get it. I don't get the angle. Your magic is fake, yes. But conjuring isn't. There you go, Gaffney. I'll give you that. Right. Oh yes, Dillich. I talked about it the other week. I bought the Bible on stage hypnotism, and the first half of the book is what's his name? We talked about it the other day. The Oswald, the Encyclopedia of Stage Hypnotism, Oswald something, and it's a big old book. And the first half of it is him basically saying hypnotism isn't real. But he doesn't want to say Vilton. He doesn't want to say that because then you know it's not real. But he sort of has to tell you that to teach you how to do it. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. Hello, Charles. Nice to see you, sir. Right, where are we? Hello, Al. Nice to see you, mate. I got Ali Bongo's autograph. I got it for Gail once. Right, okay. Okay. Well, in that case, Carl, you know, I don't know how serious people are when they're saying these things. Hello, Anglo, but I'm seeing a lot of this fake thing. Not only on my channel, I saw it on Academic Agent the other day, and I'm seeing it a lot, and it's kind of becoming like a thing where people just write things off, and I can't work out upon what reasoning you've got there. I don't know. You're just trying to wind me up now, John. It would be a nightmare to try and arrange that. Right, okay, what have I got for you next? Perhaps he can smell a rat. There you go, Bullet. Bringing it all together nicely. Right, I think I've got one more thing before we roll VT. What was the next thing I had for you? Oh, balls, have I lost that? Oh, this is a bit annoying. Maybe I'll remember it. You're all right, Bullet. It was good. Rockhopper says 2 men punching each other in the ring does sound a bit off-putting. I'll give you that. Jeremy Beadle was great at sleight of hand. He came in Jerry's nightclub, right? Members club, Jeremy Beadle, a members club with a fucking takeaway McDonald's. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? You're in there, suited and booted, lovely, nice company. Quite, I can't remember the name of the pianist, but he used to sit in there knocking out standards. I remember he done all blues. And Beadle turns up with like a fucking double cheeseburger. What? And my mate shook his hand and he put out his sleight hand, and she said it had weird sort of, you know, weird power, like overcompensating little hand power. Think about it, people. Think about it. Don't let it drag you down. It will be terrible state of affairs. Right, I think we're going to roll VT. What have we got here? Videos. Do I have anything else here? Right. I think we'll start there. Right, so I've put a few clips together, and I've got a few things to talk about them. Where are we going? Okay, so let's get on with this. Hello, Pizzle. Nice to see you. Hello, Arklow. Thanks for the typos, Arklow. I appreciated that, and thanks for the comment as well. Hello, Rob Attrill. Right. So the first clip. So we watched a bit of this the other day. This was Jordan Peterson talking to. I'm going to put my headphones in from now on. It's going to take a couple of seconds to not be able to work them out. Oh, and my phone's ringing, and it's the missus, and she knows I'm making a video. Darling, you know I'm making a video. You know I'm making YouTube. I miss you too, love, but I'm working. You want me to show them that? You want me to show them you doing that? Yeah, you sure? All right, love, listen, I'll talk to you later. I don't know, darling. Hours. hours. Go on, please. There's loads of... I don't know. Vart! Say Vart. See you later, love. Bye. Come on. Come on. Bye. No. Bye. Bye, love. I love you. Bye. I come round your house now. Cheek of it. Dawn Browning. Our officials told us not to party, as we could kill grandma. Then they partied. Hard to believe anything these days. It's a fair point. That's Dawn. That's why I raised that question, because people are sort of starting to disbelieve everything. You know, I think that's kind of a fair point. I mean, someone said to me the other day about, I was talking, I've got to be a bit careful, have I? I don't even know anymore. But I was talking to someone in England, and she said, can you call me back later tonight? I'm going to get a jab, a booster. And I shit you not, I said to her, what for? I thought she was going on holiday or something and had to get like a yellow fever or malaria or something. And she said, and this is what she said. She went COVID-19. And I said to her, I went, what, in October? Because my first thought was, hang on, that was like half a year ago, wasn't it? that propaganda's long gone. Can you ask me, people? Are people still doing that? Are people still doing it? No one out here is. No one did here anyway. Nice one, Dawn. Appreciated, love. It's a bit thin on the ground. I know everyone's broke. But is that a thing that's still happening? Does anyone here, people, knows? Yeah, oh, look, John says loads. No, same as that count. Same as most people here. In fact, the only people here that had it didn't really have a choice. It was like lose your house, job, and not feed your kids, you know. Oh my God. Ugg says I'm unvert, but my parents who are elderly won't see me until I've Wiltenstarken Elsken verlaten Heten. I couldn't believe it. It just seems so bizarre. I mean, I just thought, come on, darling. You know, they told us everyone was going to die. Wiltenstark. That's very kind of you, people. Right, you might not hear the Vart, so you'll have to hear me because I'm now tuned in. I'm tuned out. Look at me. No doubt. Yeah, all right. Hello, Aldo. Good to see you. Good to catch another stream. No, lovely. Good numbers. I'm building this channel back up nicely after Diazepam Gate. Hello, Mousecat. You ain't got a Scooby. Loads are still well into it. It's like a cult. Really? And again, Mousecat, probably because I'm out here and it didn't happen out here. We didn't have it. It didn't. I mean, it was here. You could get them. You were allowed to go and get them. But I was the only person who observed the curfew. And that's not even a joke. I remember my missus, I said to her, I haven't got any food. She said, go to the supermarket. I said, it's gone 9 o'clock. She said, what, are you scared? Scared of the dark? And I was like, no, the curfew. She was like, that ended 2 months ago. Just me. Just the one Englishman who's had too much big government up his head. Well, that is very peculiar. I just thought it had gone. I just thought it had all gone. Very strange. Yeah, I'll tell you what. Let me try a little experiment. Put a number in the chat. I'm gonna randomly select someone, right? Put a number between 1 and 5 in the chat. Go on, do it. I want to try something. I want to see all this fake stuff. Put a number between 1 and 5 in the chat. Let's see where we are. Right, there you go. Hang on. Robert put 7. Right, I've got to wait for it to move up. Right, 1, 2, 3. Hang on, 1. Right, Robert, 1, 2, 5, 6, 7. Hang on, I'm just taking the first 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 3. 1, 2, 3. Al Mac. Right, so I went from Robbins. Where's Robbins? Oh, I went from Robert White's. Let me just check it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. Right, Al. Al, have you got a camera, or can you come on the screen? Can you come on this stream for like 2 minutes, maybe? If you can't, no worries. I'll do another one. Just let us know. I've got my numbers. Hello, 69 Otters. Hello, RMF. Hello, Mr. Bontoft. Hello, Linda, darling. Hello, Keys to the Kingdom. Let's see if Al can come on. Hello, Tech Roach. Did I just see Tech Roach? Hello, son. Where's Al? I wonder if he can come on. Yeah, I'll give you 5 minutes. There you go. Oh, this will be very exciting. All right. So I randomly, you can check that. I took the first 2 numbers. So I got Robert's one, sorry, counted down, and then there was another number counted down Al. I hope that you'll see that was as random as it could get. So Al's going to come on. This will be interesting. While he's sorting himself out, we'll have a look at the first clip. Have a look at this. Let me. This is Jordan Peterson talking to Piers Morgan. We watched some the other day. Vart in Turter. But have a look at this. Very, very interesting bit of the interview.
I want to ask you just quickly, the film director Olivia Wilde has a new movie out, which she says is based on you, this insane man, this pseudo-intellectual hero to the incel community. Incel being these weirdo loner men.
Right, look at that micro expression on Peterson's face. That is a change in expression. When Piers Morgan says, right, so basically this woman's made this film and she's based this evil character on Jordan Peterson. Because everyone knows Jordan Peterson's pure evil. And then, I'm going to play that. I'm going to take it back and show you this again. As soon as Piers Morgan says about incels, okay, you can say incels, but then he says see, Morgan toes the party line when he says these weirdo and you see, as you've just seen there, Peterson's expression totally changed when he realizes. I mean, look, he's laughing there. Watch it's very subtle, but you can suddenly see. Vart, he's absolutely pissed. Watch.
Incel community. Incel being these weirdo loner men who are despicable in many ways. Is that you? Are you the intellectual hero to these people?
Right. So, I mean, look at his face now. Now, you heard that question. Are you the hero to these despicable, weirdo, loner men? Piers is setting him up so that JP says, obviously that's not me. Check out JP's fucking amazing answer.
Sure. Why not? You know?
He absolutely said, yeah, actually, fuck you. Yeah, I am. And we all know why. Because we know that young men are completely fucked.
Sure. Why not? You know, people have been after me for a long time because I've been speaking to disaffected young men. You know, what a terrible thing to do that is.
Right. Look at him now. You are seeing Jordan Peterson getting emotional because it's fucking upsetting. This is really upsetting. The other day I spoke to Harry, you know, Harry Truck, TRUK show, and I spoke to Barclay. They're 2 lads I've known for 4 or 5 years now. You know, I call them kids because they're like, 20 or something. I know they think they're blokes and all that, and they are not, but you know. And as I was chatting with them, and you know, they don't know, but Harry don't know, but I videoed the screen. I've got him doing all his fighting moves. If you're watching, Harry, I'm gonna put the Rocky music to it. But Harry's absolutely ripped. Harry's ripped to fuck, man. Seriously, he's just ripped. And they're you know, the pair of them are just lovely blokes. And I got quite emotional talking to them. You know, they're all full of it, and they're all, you know. And I just thought, you are in for a really hard time. You know, you are at the bottom of the list. You are at the bottom of the list. People hate you. They don't like you. And you are getting no room. And I got emotional. Hello, Rise of the Right. What an absolute pleasure. Well, good now to see you. I got quite emotional when I was talking to Harry, because I just thought, you know, all he's tried to do is the right thing. He went to university. He got cunted off at university. You know, he wasn't allowed to have his political opinion. That he wasn't allowed to. He was doing economics. He was doing economics, and I said to him when I'd done my talking with teens thing, I said, you know, do you get social justice? Do they squeeze it into economics? He said it's all we get all day, every day. He said that's what we get. You know, they squeeze a bit of economics into the social justice. So they fucked him over. He owes them 60 foul now. Harry used to push. He was a trolley dolly. You know, Harry's a bright kid. He's not an idiot. But he used to do, you know, the old Down syndrome, pushing with trolleys for £2.50 an hour. And when he told me he had that job when he was 16, I was like, why the fuck did you get that job? Like, laughing at him, because I'd always dig him out. You know, I'd take the piss out of him and Barkley as much as possible. And he said, well, I just needed some money, and I couldn't get a job anywhere. I was sitting around at home. So I just got that job, saved up some money. And I thought, you know what? Fair play. Fair play. Didn't care what people thought of him. You know, imagine your old school friends, you know, coming down to Sainsbury's and you're there with your stupid costume on. He didn't give a fuck. And I just thought, you know, look at Barkley. Barkley is politically engaged. Any society worth its salt would want its young people, men and women, to be politically engaged, not engaging in violence, but having political opinions, learning about it, studying it, and being active. He was only giving out leaflets, and they fucking arrested him. They went round his house. They took his, you know, that was when he was living at his mother's. The old Bill turned up at his mother's house, warrant the works, took his computer, took his phone, took his PlayStation, whatever, his face in the fucking national press, neo-Nazi. And it's like, hang on, this bloke, you should be patting him on the back for being politically engaged. And no, you've done the opposite. You've put an absolute frightener on him. You've just said to everyone else, look what happens. Do you reckon if he was handing out communist leaflets with a death toll of about 300 million, do you reckon they'd have got a visit from the old Bill giving out communist leaflets? And I mean communist leaflets. I mean hammer and sickle, pictures of the old guard, Marx, Engels, Lenin. No, of course he wouldn't. They'd have fucking encouraged him. But if you've got the wrong, this is modern European democracy. If you've got the wrong opinion, nah. This is modern European inclusivity. Oh no, we're inclusive. We want everyone included, except for the people who don't agree with us. They can fuck off. They can lose their bank accounts. They can lose their jobs. They can get doxxed. They can get lies said about them. And when Jordan Peterson is about to start crying, he's thinking about young men. Look at what I done. I said on this channel, I said, if any young people want to talk to me, you know, teenagers, 16 and above, you know, I got loads of nationalists. Oh, you pedo. Really? What? for talking to young people. You know, it's quite a leap from talking to and fucking, but nonetheless, I got more grief off a nationalist than I did the left. I said, if anyone wants to come on this show and talk to me about your life today. Remember, I had that kid whose mum and sister were disabled. I had that bloke who was Asperger's and never had a girlfriend. You know, I talked to 13 different people. Only 2 of them were political. 4 of them were students. And I made the mistake of daring to give young men a voice. And what did I get out of that? I got in the national press. I got in the Sunday Times. Grooming teenage Nazis. They don't like it. They do not like you. Daring to stand up for the evil young man. It's a fucking travesty. And when JP starts to cry here, all the leftist media, your Salon and your BuzzFeed and all that, they all said it was because what this woman said about him, because she based this character in the film on him. No, he starts crying because he knows what life's going to be like for young men. And he was once a young man. And it's hard enough anyway. It's hard enough being a young person. But, you know, Jordan's not an idiot. Whether you agree with him, whether you like him, it doesn't matter. He's not stupid. And he feels that because he lives his life with a level of passion. And passion is about caring. It's about compassion. Same words. Have a look at it. I found it really, really striking. And the way fucking Morgan tried to set him up. Are you actually supporting these stupid incels? All right, Al, we'll do that in 1 minute, mate. Let me just finish this clip. Nice one, Al.
People have been after me for a long time because I've been speaking to disaffected young men. You know, what a terrible thing to do that is.
Look, you can't fake that.
I thought the marginalized were supposed to have a voice.
It's making you emotional.
Yeah, wrong margin, mate. Wrong margin.
Talk about that.
Well, God, you know, it's very difficult to understand how demoralized people are. And certainly many young men are in that category. And you get these casual insults, these incels. What does it mean?
Like you just did, Morgan.
It's like, well, these men, they don't know how to make themselves attractive to women who are very picky, and good for them. Women, like, be picky. That's your gift, man. Demand high standards from your men. Fair enough. But all these men who are alienated, it's like they're lonesome and they don't know what to do, and everyone piles abuse on them.
It's fucking brilliant. It's fucking brilliant. And he's absolutely spot on. Didn't get what you wanted there, Morgan, did you? Do you remember what's his name? My best mate, Ray Vahi from BitChute, when he had the British counter-terrorist teaching his Thai staff what to look for on BitChute. And the last one, and they said to these Thai girls, we're not going to show you examples of these. Wonder why? What, ain't got any? And they said, but the last thing we want to warn you about is incels. Really? Right. Okay. So the sex bots, they're members here. We like them. Al's going to come on. I've got a little experiment I want to try with Al. Al, I'll put the link in the chat. Rise of the Right says, although he's not on our side, you can't deny his philosophy. What I'd say to that, Rise of the Right, is I don't think there is in this channel. I don't think there is an ours. I think we all overlap at certain parts, and I think Jordan Peterson overlaps at certain parts. But I think I do know what you're saying. There are some fun. He's not really into collectivizing, which is a fundamental issue. But, you know, you don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. That would be ridiculous. Look at him. Hello, top of the head. You remaining anonymous intentionally. That's fine.
You're right, mate.
Look, he's a professional bass player. Now, I should have asked you before. Have you got a pen and paper, Andy?
Yeah, I'm in the studio.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
right. People watching. Al, thanks for coming on, mate. That's the shortest notice ever.
Well, look, right, I'm a bit nervous.
It's all right. It's all right. I'm not going to ask you to do anything. You look like Sargon from the nose up.
I know. I've got the old fucking neck beard going on these days. Haven't I? Hang on. I'm just trying to something. Right, let's get this over here on the right screen because I think it's all
right. While you're doing that,
better.
yeah. Al, are you watching on YouTube? Because I can hear myself.
Yeah. It should be muted.
1 2 1 2 1 2.
Muted. Yeah. YouTube's muted.
It's all right. It's not that. Oh,
right. Now let's just shut YouTube down. Is that better?
1 2. Nope. It's probably it's going out of your speakers into your microphone. Can you turn your speakers down a little bit?
Yeah.
You just turn the speakers down a little bit. There you go. I can cope with that. I'm sure people can.
I'll put some headphones on.
It's too much hassle. Too much. If you can, if you want, but right. I want to say to everyone else watching, this is an experiment. I can't guarantee this will work.
I am getting nervous now.
Yeah. October says my spirit guide is telling me Al is a bass player.
I know, that's amazing, isn't it? That's amazing.
There you go. You sorted out the audio, my friend. That's perfect. Al is like a professional musician. You played the O2, didn't you, a while back? You said it.
Yeah, I've got one coming up at Sheffield O2 Arena. Sorry, not the arena. No, it's not that good. Academy, O2 Academy. Coming up.
I mean,
big festival.
So many people want to be musicians, but to actually do it as a living, what a result! Fair play to you. Fair play.
Yeah, it's I've had some good times, bad times, but on the whole, it's been good to me. I've had a good standard of living. Good times, bad times. But I can stand up in front of thousands of people and not be nervous. I love it, but I'm not sure what all this is about. So
no, that's all right. That's all. No, this is
what sort of juju are you planning?
I'm gonna I want to say to the rest of the chat that this is an experiment. I am not a professional magician. I have been studying it all my life, but I'm crap.
Right.
But you can't fail, Al. Whatever you cheers, mate. I've got water here.
Yeah, just a little
bit of advertising.
Pre-dinner bit of Merlot there.
What are you? Oh, Merlot, lovely. Right, Al. So I do need you to concentrate though, or this really won't work.
Right. Okay.
So I want you to go back to about age 8, okay? About age 8.
Fucking hell, I can't remember last.
It's all right, just vaguely. You don't have to. Nothing in particular. So go back to when you were a child.
I'm trying to think of. I'm thinking about when I was at school, walking to junior school. If that helps.
There you go.
That's what I've got in my head. Right.
So that's all right. And I want you to think about. I want you to think about something that scared you. Don't say anything though.
Right.
Don't say anything. Just think about 2 or 3 things that scared you.
Nah, nothing scares me. I'm probably geezing.
Yeah, but when you were young though, come on.
For fucking Luton, don't I? You know what I mean?
Just don't say them.
No. All right.
Right, now think of one of them, but actually really think of it. Don't just if you don't follow the rules, it won't work. Now, I want you to see it right in right in the front of your head. Picture
Right,
it.
I am concentrating on something from.
Yeah. Okay. So there's something.
70s.
You've got something.
Yes.
Now I want you to pick the one of the few that's easiest to draw. A very basic line drawing.
I can't draw, man. I can't draw.
You can.
All right. Okay. Hang on.
Right. I've got a blank piece of paper here.
Right.
And I am about to do a drawing as well. But I need you to think about that one thing that you see at the front of your head.
Okay. All right. I'll give it a go.
Yeah, I'm going to do a little drawing as well. It could be one or two actually. And no one's judging you on your drawing abilities. Mine's awful.
I wasn't expecting this, though. You know.
No, that's all right. Mine is awful.
I'll put a little. I'm going to put a little clue on it, so it's unmistakable.
Okay, right. Now, don't show it yet.
Right.
Al, can you do what I've done there, just in case the paper's transparent?
Right.
So that no one can see. Right. Ready? On the count of three, I want you to show us it. Ready?
Go on.
1, 2, 3.
No! Fuck off! Fuck off! What do you call that? What do you call that? This is a basket shot. I don't know what you fucking got. Fuck off, man.
That's amazing. I don't know what that is. But that is
No way.
Can I
was thinking of the film. I was thinking of the film Jaws. I went to see that as a kid in the 70s. And I just remember the whole thing with the eyeball popping out the skull.
That's
the earliest sort of moment when anything ever scared me. Nothing scared me since.
Mate,
fuck off, man! How did you?
Amazing.
What kind of Darren Brown juju did you do there? Seriously.
Email me, chris@chrisdangerfield.com, and I'll tell you how I done that. But only you.
Fuck off, man! I can't believe that. I can't.
No, me neither.
At least the thing, I'm not worried about my drawing ability now. I've seen yours, but Jesus Christ.
Al, 7 years at art school.
That is nuts. That is nuts, man. Fuck off, man. That's
Al,
nuts.
thank you very much, man.
No, thank you.
Really
I don't know what the fuck you
appreciate
did there, but all right, mate. Brilliant.
If you want to know, email me, Chris.
Okay, I fucking will do, yeah. Without that.
All right, cheers, Al.
All right, mate. See you in a bit.
Cheers, mate. Ta-da. Art school. I'm so happy because if that sort of thing doesn't work, you just have to go, oh, I did something else. That's interesting how people think. Pizzle, do you remember when we done the other one with the cards on it, Pizzle? That was quite something. That was tricky though, having to hold the cards on the screen all the time. Right, let's have a look at the next clip. Let me tell I'm so blown away. Al, thanks for coming on, man. That was very, very good of you. So the next clip, let me have some water and we'll get into it. I'm tempted to do another trick now. I've got the buzz. I've got the buzz. Right. So you might have heard of this movie. I didn't get the trailer. Let me show you some of the trailer because it's disgusting and really unpleasant. Hang on. And not for reasons that you'd think either. So a new movie come out, right? And it's a romantic comedy about the gays. Now, I'll tell you something, and I know it doesn't really go down well here. I love the gays. I lived in Soho for years. I was the only straight in the village. They helped me with my style. They helped me with loads of things. Nothing sensual, though. Actually, they did. Actually, that sounds weird. But one of them told me about getting a prostate massage. He said, you'll never look back. I did look back. I was like, what the fuck are you doing, woman? Notice I stressed woman. So this movie came out. This movie came out called Bros. B-R-O-S. Bros. And it's a rom-com, a romantic comedy about the gays. Now, the weird thing about that is I don't like romantic comedies. I don't find romance that funny. I like romance. I like it a lot. My life, when I think of my life, you know, I was talking about passion earlier, and I'm making a standalone video about passion. So that's why it's sort of in my head a bit. And when I think of the things in my life that have really counted, the things that meant something to me, they're the passionate moments, they're the romantic moments. But when you mix romance and comedy, it dilutes both of them. You know, the romance is diluted because it's a joke, and the jokes are diluted because it's romance. Now, add gays to that, and you've got an audience. Like, I don't want to watch heterosexual. I don't like it. I don't like watching heterosexual romantic comedies. Nor do most blokes I know. It's a lot of women like watching rom-coms, don't they? But even they like watching them with other women. I've never had a girlfriend, probably because they know what the answer would be, but I've never had a girlfriend say to me, oh, darling, can we snuggle up on the sofa and watch a rom-com? And I would do it if a girl asked me, because I'll be like, yeah, if that make you happy, of course I'll do that, darling. Because there's something I want you to do to make me happy a little bit later. Know what I mean? It's naughty. But to make the audience even smaller by making it homosensual, it's just, you know, they spent 40 million making this movie. 40 million. They spent 30 million marketing it. Right, so 40 mil to make it, 30 mil to well, actually, we'll get onto the numbers in a minute. Have a little look at the trailer. Now, I quite enjoyed Brokeback Mountain. It got me thinking, and I'm all right with having movies to get me thinking. I like that about films. I used to be scared of movies because they changed the way I felt. And as a young person, I was a real control freak. Well, I say young, 20s and 30s. But, you know, I was a control freak. I wanted to control how I felt. That's why I took drugs all the time, because I knew how I'd feel. Whatever's going on in the world, if you jack up a speedball, you're kind of in control of how you're going to feel. And so films used to scare me. And Brokeback Mountain challenged me. It didn't challenge my sexuality, it was steady. But, you know, I thought about things anew. But Bros, not so much. Let's have a little look at the trailer. You do get copyright claims for them, which is weird considering it's a fucking advert, YouTube, you weirdos. Why would you get a copyright claim over an advert? Check out Bros.
Hey guys, it's Bobby Lieber coming to you from the future home of the LGBTQ+ Museum. Everyone is really excited and totally getting along.
This happens to be Bisexual Awareness Week, and no one has acknowledged it.
Lesbian History Month was in March. Nobody said a goddamn thing.
Of course, lesbians get a month and we get a week.
The weird thing about that opener is it's almost like something you'd see on Gutfeld. It's almost like something you'd see someone on the right doing, you know, like a parody of an LGBT organization saying, well, no one's, you know, my intersection hasn't been celebrated this month. Okay, moving on a little bit more.
So what's happening? Didn't you guys have an announcement?
This is a little unexpected. We are in a throuple situation.
You're in a throuple? Let me tell you what's progressive now.
Unfortunately, the music is going to cause me more problems than the film.
being alone.
I love my life. I love my freedom. I love my independence. That's kind of sad. That I don't want to be in a throuple. I don't even want to be in a couple.
Bobby, I had sex with that 65-year-old.
Jesus, he's ripped.
Right, so you get the idea. Now, I mean, you know, I'm not being gay. I don't know whether this would appeal to some gays, and I say some because they're not all the same. I don't, you know, maybe some. I mean, the gays I know, Fat Tony, Boy George, Ivan Masso, they're not watching this. They are not watching this. No, they probably don't even know it exists. Right now. It absolutely bombed, right? It absolutely bombed. Have a look at this little article I picked up here. Hang on. Now, I am, by the way, here, I know that the audience for this is tiny. Do you have to be represented in the films you're watching? No. I mean, if I can watch a film about robots shooting each other or Star Wars, that's not me. I can watch it. But when there's a lot of man-on-man action, straight men are quite repelled by that. That's just the reality. You ask a gay man to watch lesbian action, they are repelled by it. And I know this. I've had some cracking conversations. I shouldn't really say it, but you get Boy George talking about pussy. Now, I don't think so, Rags. Really? Why? They're only having sex, aren't they? What's degenerate about that? I don't think this is degenerate propaganda at all. Jesus Christ. Have you seen Pornhub? I'd say that was. This is just storytelling, isn't it? But, you know, each to their own. Anyway, check it out. Billy Eichner says straight people just didn't show up for bros at the box office, right? So Billy Eichner, that's the director, took to Twitter this weekend to share his thoughts on the disappointing reception his gay rom-com Bros received at the nation's cinemas. I'm just going to burp. Hang on. Here we go. Rolling Stone already has Bros on the list of the best comedies of the 21st century. I mean, you know, there's been 22 years of the 21st century, and Rolling Stone has already got this on the list of the best romantic comedies. No, not even rom-coms. Best comedies of the 21st century. I wonder why. I wonder if that's got anything to do with the message. Anyway, he goes on and he says, even though we got glowing reviews, great Rotten Tomato scores, and an A cinema score, straight people, especially in certain parts of the country, he means Republicans, straight people, especially in certain parts of the country, just didn't show up for Bros, and that's disappointing, right? Okay, you can be pissed that people didn't read didn't watch your film. I would imagine there's a big percentage of the population that won't like my novel or my short stories. Okay, this is what I think about those people. They don't like what I write about, and that's fine. That's it. Obviously, there's nothing wrong with them. They haven't made any political statements. They just don't like it. All right. Oh, check out what this fucker says, and I've got him saying it. It's mind blowing. So this film took about 4 mil. It took about 4 million on its first weekend, which is a disaster. Oh Lord, what's happened here? Oh, here we go. It took about 4 million on its first weekend. It got beaten by movies that had been in the cinema for 4 or 5 weeks before that. It really tanked. When you take 4 mil in your first weekend and your film was 40 million to make, 30 million marketing spend. In a world of globo homo, how the fuck you need to spend 30 mil on marketing when the Rolling Stone, it's one of the funniest comedies of the 21st century. I reckon I could have marketed this movie for about a tenner. Just ring up the New York Times. It's got gays in it. It's about gays, yeah? Sweet, thanks. Job done. Done. Listen to what this horrible bastard had to say. I'm shocked at what this geezer had to say. Check out this clip. This is that Eisner bloke I just mentioned, the director. All right, and check out not only what he says, but the pomp and arrogance he delivers it with. There'll be a little pause here.
And all the homophobes on the Supreme Court that we want gay love.
Well, and what? And all the homophobes on the Supreme Court. All the homophobes. Tit shot on the right there. That's not very gay, is it? That's not gay at all. Anyway, let's get back to all the homophobes on the Supreme Court. What a weird angle. Yeah.
And all the homophobes on the Supreme Court that we want gay love stories, and we support LGBTQ people, and we are not letting them drag us back into the last century because they are in the past and bros is the future.
Hang on a minute. I'm not really sure what he's saying. What is the future gay? Because if the future's gay, there's no future. Because there's a little biological problem in your logic there. I can't believe he's got the audacity to say that if you don't like his film, you're some old dinosaur. No, people just didn't want to watch it. People just didn't want to watch it. That's all. That's all. One of my favourite writers is William Burroughs. Bent as a two-bob note. Gay as they come. Wrote a book called Queer. At the end of Junkie, he just goes to Mexico and bangs boys. I've got no problem with the gays. But your film's crap. That's all. That's all. And I just can't imagine having the gall to blame Republicans, to blame straight people on the failure of your movie. Not a chance. Can't even comprehend that it just might not be very good. And here's the kicker. These lunatics who spent 70 million putting that film out, they've just realized that the world isn't Twitter. You can go on Twitter and get the idea, all those rainbow flags on Twitter that Elon Musk outed as bots, that ain't the world. And you can look at that and think, look at the demographic breakdown of the world. No, that's a demographic breakdown of Twitter. So, and if you want proof, make a movie called like Bros. I can't believe he's still saying it's the future. Everyone in the crowd's like, yeah, whoa! I bet none of them went to see it. I bet none of them. They're just waving their virtue flags. Yeah, gays. Those straight dinosaurs. Yeah, gays, fucking gays. Have you seen it? Nah, not interested. I mean, that's such a reach. That is copium all day long. Bros is the future. How long until he cringes at that? Do you reckon it took him the cab journey home or the same night? You cannot say that. Imagine you had a project, anything. You released an album, wrote a book, made a film, and it didn't go down well, and you just went, fucking Nazis. No, I'm sorry, mate. That ain't it. It's just not very good. It's not getting great reviews. It's been panned. It's getting great reviews by the people who are progressives because, you know, they want to destroy the West, and they use you like a puppet, my friend. They use you and yours like a puppet. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about the gays. They don't want it. They're nothing. You're just useful idiots. What a tragedy. What an absolute tragedy. Right, a massive, and I think I might have missed a couple of donations. Hang on. All right, we've done that one. Hang on. Oh, I have. Oh, hang on. No, I've done that one. Lil Bullet said, the Sri Lankans from my local newsagents bought me a big Sri Lankan meal round last night. I never recognised anything, but it tasted wonderful. You know what, Little Bullet? There was a Sri Lankan bloke lived in my road when I was growing up called Vimal. My mum can't even eat black pepper. You know, chilies are just a no-no, but eat black pepper. She's like, who put pepper? Who put pepper in my soup? And that Sri Lankan food, me and my dad were sweating, like just, it was fucking delicious though, like full spread of traditional Sri Lankan food. My mother, she couldn't eat anything. Oh man, it's so working class. Bless her. The woman, Vimal's wife, I can't remember her name. She made my mum an omelette. And me and my dad have got our plates piled high with all this really exotic food and like mango curries and things like that. Like, you know, mangoes weren't invented in Dartford until about 1986. So it was very peculiar. And my mum's sitting there eating an omelette. Anyway, moving, nice one, Little Bullet. I think I've got a couple more. I'm not going to put them on the screen because I've got a lot to get on here, but I will read them out. Niggling Bill, hello, mate. Bill says this: all perception is contained within a simulation of physical reality created by the brain. Optical and other illusions are just your brain adapting the simulation in real time. And then you've put a question mark at the end. What are you asking me? All perception is contained within a simulation of physical reality created by the brain. Yeah, I think that's fair enough. Optical and other illusions are your brain adapting the simulation in real time. Yeah, I think that's fair enough, Bill. I think that makes sense. And then Yiz says, I should put that on the screen because I don't know how well it will go. Hang on, maybe you'll be able to see it if you do that. Hang on. What the hell's going on here? Yiz has said this. Hang on. Have a look at this. Oh, that ain't very good, is it? Ah, bollocks, you can't see it. Hang on. I'll sort it. It requires a visual. Next little clip I got coming up, I got from Mr. Me In It. He sent it to me weeks ago before the ban on sending me clips. I'll get that in there before anyone says, well, if Mr. Me In It can send clips, well, I can. Al of Macad. Good call, Yuz. Baz says, you are spot, Chris. Why, thank you. I'm not sure what that means, but it's nice to be spot. Nice to have Rise of the Right on the firm. I wonder how long it takes me to piss him off. I've had enough. Now I remember why I left this place. Al of Macad is priceless. So, right. Where are we going now? So yeah, this is courtesy of Mousecat. Now, the reason I want to show you this, it's only short. I've been showing a lot of King of the Streets, and I really like it. And I've made no secret. If you don't know, it's unlicensed, unregulated, proper fight club, phone call to an undisclosed location, get in a bus, driven to an unknown location, apply online, brutal, no rules, no rounds. hardcore fighting, and it's nature responding to the emasculation and the effeminization of men, and it's wicked, and that's going to happen more and more and more and more and more. Now, this is why we need those things, because the culture industry will attempt. Hello, Keymad 4. Nice to see thee. Now, the problem is the culture industry is not stupid. The culture industry knows that if you fight nature, nature's going to come back at you. And it knows about street beefs. It knows about King of the Streets. And what it will do, it will try and contain such things. It will try and sate people's desire for male violence. It will try and sate people's desire to watch it. It will try and sate people's desire to take part in it. And that isn't helping. That's controlled opposition. I finally learned what it means. Have a look what happens when TV stations, the culture industry basically, gets hold of young men's need to fight. Compare this, right? Actually, to compare it, we are going to have a bit of King of the Streets. Only about 10 seconds, though. I know I've absolutely thrashed it on this channel, but I just want to show you enough for a comparison. Here we go. We start. Let's have a bit of this one. Hang on. Right, so compare this, which is not culture industry, and I think by which I mean it isn't commodified, it isn't corporatized, it's grassroots, right? Have a look at this. Just 10 seconds of King of the Streets. So that was just a random clip of King of the Streets. Didn't really matter what happened as long as you got an idea of the aesthetic of it. Now have a look at this. Have a look what happens when the culture industry gets hold of young men's desire to fight and people's desire to watch it. Have a look at this. Look at the way the novelty detracts from the reality of the brutal young man. Young men want to fight. Young men are aggressive. And if they both are up for it, let them. And people want to watch it. People have been watching men fighting for fucking millennia. But look what they've done. Look, what are those smiley faces? Oh, are they in a phone box? Why? Why? Why are they in a phone box? This is the further distillation of the whole thing. Sorry, people. I don't think I put the audio on. Give us a second. Here we go. There'll be a little pause.
Ну, они оба чемпионы, призеры, начинается месиво какое-то. Кулачная работа мощная. Молчанов Павел немножко уходит вниз. Встает нормально, получает челюсть. И опять вниз уходит. Уже не встает. Нет, это все... Ух ты, ой-ой. Ё-моё. Дорогие зрители, это что-то уже вот за гранью было немного. Ну, Иван Сергеевич заявил, что...
Phone box fights. I mean, that isn't masculine. That's embarrassing. That is taking everything away from those lads. Now, here's the problem with that. When you go into the ring like those King of the Streets boys do, you can die in that ring. You can certainly get concussion. You can break your jaw. You can crack your skull. You can have your orbital bones smashed through. Oh, it's serious. And we get back to passion. We get back to a life worth living. We get back to people absolutely putting their life on the line because they want their life to mean something. And in a world of big government, in a world of endless fucking rules and laws and don't do this and don't do this and don't offend anyone and censorship, you can actually meet up in a car park, shake hands with someone and say, let's have it. Bang. That takes all that away from it. Because 10 years on, you don't say to your children or your grandchildren that you once went down into you flew from England to fuck knows where, let's just say Poland, and you got a bus to an undisclosed location and met a load of blokes you didn't know and had a proper tear up and then shook hands with that bloke afterwards and probably went out for a drink and talked fighting like men like to, and talked about maybe MMA or whatever, talked about jiu-jitsu, talked about Horace Gracie, talked about all what happened with all that, and bonded a passionate, significant, profound, life worth living level. Those cunts don't get that. Oi, granddad, come here. What's this video I found of you? Phone box fights. Yeah, I was on some TV show where they put me in a phone box to fight someone. Yeah. And that's what you've got to be careful. You've got to be careful about this dilution. The way the culture industry, Adorno calls it barbaric meaninglessness. You know, the way they can present you these spectacles that, you know, they're still hitting each other. I mean, I can show you the still that I've got on the screen next to me. You know, he's still got claret coming out his chin and his nose. But it doesn't mean anything. You've been humiliated. You had a fight in a fucking telephone box. Unnecessary restrictions were put on the event to take away from the actual event. You know, I'm never watching another telephone box fight in my life. I can't stop watching King of the Streets. I wait for their new videos. You know, I get a notification when they make a new video because it's happening. It's real. And it's like, this is intense. I don't think it's got long left on YouTube. And thankfully, because it'll, you know, that ain't going anywhere. That they'll find a place. But you look out for the way the culture industry pretends to give you something, but with the other hand takes it away. Right, next clip. This is brilliant. Sylvester Stallone. A lot of people think he's a gimp. I've got loads of respect for Sylvester Stallone. I think First Blood is a great movie. I mean that. I think First Blood is a great movie. But Rocky 1, written, directed, and acted by Sylvester Stallone. So yeah, he might talk about he wrote and directed and acted in a fucking amazing film. One in the chat if you think Rocky 1 is excellent. It's excellent. And if you haven't seen it, or if you haven't seen it in years, go and watch it. Here's why you need to go and watch it. Not just because, oh, this is a good boxing film, but you suddenly realize what the themes are. You suddenly realize what Sylvester Stallone is saying. It's not about boxing. It's about what matters in life. And I mean this. And this was in what, 1976, I think, Rocky 1? I think it was 1976, 1975. Here is a very short clip of Sylvester Stallone talking about why he made Rocky 1. And if you haven't seen this clip, I reckon you'll look at Sly Stallone somewhat different. This is beautiful. And again, this is 1976. I might have that wrong. Might have been a year before, a year after. forget the film. The reason he made it is just heartwarming, wholesome as fuck. Check it.
You've written several scripts before, but was there any special reason for you to write this one, to write Rocky?
Well, I felt at the time that cinema, at least the movies I had been seeing, were at an all-time low. Everything was anti-society, anti-Christ, anti-government, anti-everything, and there was no one to root for. And I also feel that films are very cyclic, so I wanted to get back into the cycle of the films of the 40s and the 50s, where people say, hey, gee, I missed the good old films, yet Hollywood hasn't taken heed and hasn't made any good old-fashioned type films where morality was at the forefront. So I took the opportunity to write this particular film, of course, being somewhat selfish because I had myself in mind for it. But that was the main motivation.
Where morality was at the forefront. Oh, hang on. Whoa. No, don't ruin it. Don't ruin it. Where morality was at the forefront. Someone to root for. Christ. He said Christ. And when he talks about those old films, you know, he's talking about Casablanca, which is an absolute classic. Stallone made a film because he wanted to bring people together, and he wanted the world to be a better place. And when you watch that movie, think about his missus in it, the relationship between him and Adrian. It's just beautiful. And again, why does he fight? Why does he keep going? Passion. He wants his life to mean something, and he wants to support his wife. It's got romance, it's got passion, it's got fighting, it's got risk, it's got morality. Who'd have ever thought that Rocky was a morality tale? And it 100% is. Check it out again. It's absolutely worth a second. I watched it the other night. I rarely watch films twice, but I found that interview, the rest of that interview, it continues. It is. I can't watch more of it because I wanted to talk about that point. But what a champion! What an absolute champion, Sly Stallone. Right, two people. Dylan Thomas, amazing writer, poet, writer, doesn't matter. They're both the same thing in my book. Julia Kristeva, French writer, described poetic language as any language which threatens the limits of its enclosure. So think about words and how you're meant to use them. Remember the other day I was talking about my novel, it's got no chapters. And I had an argument with a writer the other day. I said, I don't want any chapters. He said, yeah, but it's because you try and be weird. I said, no. Why does it need chapters? He said, it's normal to have chapters. I said, that isn't why you have them. What is their function? And you know, chapters have an effect. The way language is limited, paragraphs, this, that, blah, 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 blah. Someone wrote on Reggae Sauce. Who was it? I can't remember who wrote it, but there's a bit where I just said, I smoked that crack and everything, full stop, became full stop, nothing full stop, and full stop, everything full stop became full stop something. That's breaking the limits of the enclosure of language. You're not meant to write like that. And I can't remember who wrote the thing. He said, you absolutely nailed it by doing that. I'm not bigging myself up here. It's no major avant-garde language moment, but someone got it. Someone understood why I did it. It's not just like a flourish. I needed to explain something, and language couldn't. But if you transcend the limits of language and use language against itself, you can. And Dylan Thomas was a genius at this. Dylan Thomas was an absolute genius at this. Now, put next to Dylan Thomas, Richard Burton, an actor, Have any of you seen Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf with Richard Burton and Liz Taylor? If you haven't seen that movie, as soon as this stream ends, go and watch it. Don't download it illegally from Pirate Bay. It's on there. That would be wrong. But Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton were a couple when they made that film. They were both alcoholics when they made that film. They were a dysfunctional alcoholic couple. In the movie, Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, they play an alcoholic, dysfunctional couple. And the passion of Richard Burton, the passion of Elizabeth Taylor. And we've talked on this channel countless times about the Meisner technique, which you see turn up in Goodfellas, which you see turn up in Taxi Driver, which you see turn up in most good films. Reps. You looking at me? You looking at me? What, you looking at me? You looking at me? Joe Pesci. What do you mean I'm fucking funny? Well, you're funny. What do you mean I'm funny? Well, you know you're funny. What, am I like a fucking clown? No, you're not a clown. Well, 1, 2, bum, 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 bum. That's practiced. Sammy Meisner, not Sammy, Sanford Meisner, but they call him Sammy. He come up with that. That was the start of the method, where they've done these reps classes. I've done it. I've done a course on it. I fucking hated it because I'm not an actor. And they just made you stand up in front of the old class. It'll go Chris and Joanne. So I stand up and then Joanne will go, you're wearing a blue jumper. And I have to just repeat that. I go, I'm wearing a blue jumper. And she'll go, you're wearing a blue jumper. This can go on for 5 or 6 minutes. And then something happens. Something real comes in. Because to act, what is acting? I'm acting now. You act, don't you? You know, don't talk about it. Do it. You know, action. It's the same word. Action. And that's what Meisner said. That's what good actors do. Good actors don't pretend to be feeling pain. They tap into pain. And that's what that Meisner stuff does. So suddenly there's a change. And the tutor said to me, "Oi, Chris, why are you looking so stressed?" And I was going, "Well, I want to get it right." He went, "What do you mean get it right? You've only got to repeat what Joanne's saying." And I said, "Yeah, but, you know, I don't want to get it wrong." And he went, "Who tells you get things wrong?" And my whole body language just changed. And I went, "Well, I was 30 at the time." And I went, "My mum." And he went, "Okay." He went, "Joanne's your mum." And it's fucking hard, man. And then he said, "Joanne, tell Chris he gets it wrong." So now Joanne goes, "You get it wrong." And I go, "I get it wrong." And then we have to rep that until the next bit sneaks up. There were some parts where I had to go, no, I'm done. That's my limit. And sometimes they'd try and push it, and sometimes they wouldn't. But I saw people in that class, right, who are now professional actors. And I was amazed. I only done it because my agent wanted me to go for comedy acting jobs, you know, and I'd done a few castings. I was awful at it. I'm not an actor, I'm a comedian. Well, I was. But there were people in that class doing these reps, right? And honestly, I was sitting there thinking, this is too intense. They were so passionate. There was this, it just started very simply. This bloke went, "You got an hole in your jumper." And she went, "I've got an hole in my jumper." He went, "You got an hole in your jumper." And about 6 minutes later, she was on the floor, crying her eyes out. Crying, not pretending to cry, crying her eyes out. And the bloke, by this point, the bloke was just saying something like, "Stay quiet." And she was going, "I don't speak." And he was going, "You don't speak." She was going, "I've got nothing to say." He's going to say nothing. And it was like an abusive situation. I was watching mental abuse being played out. And the girl was just so in there. And that's what actors do. That's what makes a great actor. You don't play it, you do it. At the start of that Meisner course, the tutor said, does anyone want to count the bricks on the wall in the style of Hamlet? And this bloke went, oh, yeah, I will. And he stood up there and he was going, there was a lot of bricks, like, the bricks that were the wall. And he was going, 1 brick, 2, 3, 4 bricks. And the teacher just went, you prick. He called him a prick. He went, you can't count bricks in the... What's this? He said, the style of Hamlet's the words. There's no brick counting in Hamlet. What makes you think it was so brutal? Anyway, so this is how you get passion, because you believe in something and you want your life to matter. And Dylan Thomas wanted his writing to matter. And that's why he wrote and wrote and thought and thought. And he thought, what can... I'm lumbered with words. So what can I do with them? I can change the rhythm of them. I can rhyme them. I can work them against themselves. Richard Burton's an actor. He's not got anyone to work off here, but he's got the text to work off. So you've got one of the greatest actors of the age, Richard Burton. You've got one of the greatest poets of the age, Dylan Thomas, under Milkwood. And you put them together. Now, I could have played the whole fucking thing, because every time I tried to get a clip, I just was listening to it. This is 1954, and it's just incredible. You're going to get about 20 seconds because it's a definite yeet, because it's Richard Burton reading Dylan Thomas. But just listen how much passion Richard Burton puts into just reading words. He's just reading words. And listen to how much passion is in the words, because Dylan Thomas wanted to tell a story. And when you're stuck with words, you've got to do something more with them than just put them in order. And this is I think this is one of the most beautiful things humans have ever produced. I'm serious. And when you let yourself reach the heights of passion, where you believe in what you're doing and you believe it's important, that's how you make your life count. And the reason it makes your life count is because it affects other people profoundly. And when you go to bed at night, you can say, I done that, or I was part of that. I improved, I added positively to people's experiences of life. And life's a struggle, life's hard work. And to be able to give other humans something beautiful, something that changes the way they feel for the better, is the best gift a human can give. Check out a bit of this.
To begin at the beginning. It is spring, moonless night in the small town, starless and Bible black, the cobbled streets silent and the hunched quarters and rabbits wood limping invisible down to the slow black, crow black fishing boat bobbing sea. The houses are blind as moles, though moles see fine tonight in the snouting velvet dingles, or blind as Captain Cat there in the muffled middle by the pump and the town clock, the shops in mourning, the welfare hall in widow's weeds, and all the people of the lulled and dumbfound town are sleeping now. Hush, the babies are sleeping, the farmers, the fishers, the tradesmen and pensioners, cobblers, schoolteacher, postman and publican, the undertaker and the fancy woman, drunkard, dressmaker, preacher, policeman, the webfoot, cockle women, and the tidy wives. Young girls lie bedded soft or glide in their dreams with rings and trousseaux, bridesmaided by glowworms down the aisles of the organ-playing wood.
Fucking brilliant. What a terrible shame. What a terrible shame that you won't ever understand that. It's old lovey. They're what, Richard Burton and Dylan Thomas, absolute alpha males. And if you can't see that, you might want to reconsider your position within masculinity. That's a ridiculous comment. Old love is what, Richard Burton? That was incredible. But that's all right. If you don't like it, it's your cup. If it's not your cup of tea. Right. Moving on to something, quite a jolt here. I met Paul Gascoigne in a rehab centre. Paul Gascoigne was one of England's greatest footballers. I don't like to say that, obviously. And a mad character as well. I'm a bit worried that I'll get yeeted here because it's quite a long clip. I don't actually know if it's... What's the time? 2 hours. Hang on. Yeah, no, that's going to be for another one. Right, here, we'll move on to this. So, this is the better one for the next clip, actually. There's a YouTuber called Mr. Beast. He's got 100 million subscribers. And he's a prime cunt. He's a moron. And I'm going to... This is what the New World Order are pushing at you. Not Dylan Thomas. No. Not our man just then who read that. No. Mr. Beast. And Mr. Beast earns so much money from his YouTube channel, 100 million subscribers. You know, he's probably on something like 100 grand a week with all his advertising and merch. Seriously. That's the kind of money he's earning. In this video, he gives an island away. All his videos, he just gives people money, right? But not for nothing. He doesn't just go and find people who've been turfed out their house or something and says, here, you go and here's a house. No, they have to perform like monkeys for his things. In this video, he gives away $500,000 island that he bought. Now, if you're skint, what the fuck are you going to do with an island? If you're skint, you can't, what? How are you going to get there? There's no fucking airport there. You're going to need a helicopter. Do you know how much it costs to fly a helicopter? I looked into it. From Phnom Penh to Sihanoukville, which is an hour in a helicopter, $3,000. So how far away from this island do they live? So they're just going to sell it anyway. And he might just have a look at the difference between Richard Burton, the actor. Go and watch Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. Dylan Thomas, the poet. And Mr. Beast. Look at the difference in men. And this cunt he has been pushed to the top of YouTube for years now. This is what they want of men. This seething lump of this is more barbaric meaninglessness. You know, there's just no competition between this and the men of yesteryear. This is really unpleasant. There's a few edits in here because I didn't want you to have to suffer the whole video, so there'll be a couple of jump cuts. But just think about Richard Burton, and I know a few of you will know a little bit about Richard Burton and Dylan Thomas, obviously. And then think about Mr. Beast. 100 million youngsters love this bloke. 100 million youngsters, exactly that is. There you go. Mr. Beast is pushed to the top because the anti-white narrative wants young men to think the most noble thing they can do is give away everything they have. And also elevate people who are actually nothing. He's just a cog in the machine. Nothing's challenged. You know, no ripples are caused. You know, Mr. Beast's effect on history is nothing. He doesn't affect history. Anglo, why didn't you get a fart? Let me refresh entropy and sort out a manual. You know, it's just such a terrible shame. These are the new heroes, and I'll say the same about PewDiePie as well. PewDiePie's not convincing. You know what is PewDiePie? He's just a bloke who plays computer games. Vart. I don't know if you heard that, Anglo, but much appreciated, mate. Really appreciated. Check out this gun. As I say, there'll be a couple of jump cuts. But every video, he just gives away stuff but makes people perform like monkeys. Oh, and don't forget, when he occasionally just goes up to someone in the street and says, if you can carry all this money, you can have it. And they're like, oh, how much is it? He says, well, there's $500,000 there. And they're like, whoa. And, you know, you can see their brain thinking, oh, I can take my kids on holiday. I can get my kids into an half-decent school where they're not being smashed over the head every day by chairs. And then it's like, yep, you've got to balance it all at one pile. Whoa. Oh, sorry, darling. Fuck off. Next. You can't do that to people. You can't do that to people. That's evil. What a horrible thing to do. And he does it every single video. Like in this island giveaway, there's 50 contestants who had to give up their life and go and stay on this island and humiliate themselves.
We just hit 100 million subscribers, and from the bottom of my heart, thank you everyone that subscribed. And to celebrate, I bought this ginormous private island, and I'm giving it to one of you in this video.
So I brought 100 of my subscribers to compete in 4 extreme challenges. Last one standing wins this island.
The first challenge is simple. First 50 people to start a fire and light their torch, move on. Begin!
See the smoke on that? How is it not lighted? This isn't easy, guys. He's not giving it away.
Do none of you want an island? Then start a fire faster! According to our estimates, it's going to take them on average 20 minutes to start.
Did you hear his fucking minion then? Do none of you want an island? Then start a fire! I mean, it's almost impossible to watch. This is what they want. This is what they want of us.
Fire. Oh, really? Oh, wow. By 20 minutes, I meant 1 minute. Thank you, Baga. Continue to the raft. Here we go, baby. I'm not going home today. Yes! Yes! The color green. That's going to be the color of money.
It's lighting up. Oh my God!
Did he get it?
God bless America!
Yo!
God bless America!
See that ship right there, Tariq? Yeah. That's challenge number 2 and a little recreation of Squid Game. See that pirate ship over there? Yes. That's challenge number 3, and we're literally throwing people off the ship.
Trust me, you want to watch this video. This is the easiest of all the challenges. Boys, it's now time we open our...
Right, so that was pretty much it. The bird on his right, on our left, won the island, but they've got to let you see his 100 million subscriber YouTube. What do you call it? I don't know. Scrap plastic. Check out this. It's really weird.
100 million subscriber play button. This is fresh from YouTube. How do I open it?
It's actually fresh from the ground.
I hate it. This is over a decade of my life represented in one item. This is our 100 million.
Well, that's a piece of paper.
Oh my goodness! From the bottom of my heart, thank you everyone who subscribed. This channel means the world to me, and I genuinely appreciate.
Oi, the way he keeps saying from the bottom of my heart, what your hollow, dead, stone cold, kept in the fridge overnight heart, where you just get poor people to jump for you, you nauseating bastard.
Anyone who's ever watched the videos.
Thank you guys for always supporting us and watching us.
Over the past couple of years, I've had some of the most insane experiences of my life.
You guys took me from janitor to being...
We love you.
Inside of here is the D to the island. Congratulations.
What's she going to do with that island? Hang on. I would advise you to. Oh, hang on. You've got to watch this. You've got to watch this. At the end of that video, check this out. Now, bear in mind, he's got 100 million subscribers. Bear that in mind. Hang on.
Yeah! Don't forget to buy our exclusive 100 million subscriber merch. Every single one of you that buys this will get emailed a never before seen Mr. Beast video. We spent over $500,000 on this video, and I promise you'll love it. Just go to shopmrbeast.com and buy the 100 mil subscriber merch right now.
Can you think what a slim percentage of his subscribers have to buy his merch for him to make that money back? I mean, hang on. Let me have a look at Social Blade. It's a bit not that accurate, but it might have something. Let's see what they say. Estimated monthly earnings for Mr. Beast, right? This is on Social Blade. Yeah, you might, if I put it up here, you can see it. Estimated monthly earnings, Mr. Beast. Estimated monthly earnings between 73,000 and 1.2 million a month. Now, he makes out he's the most generous bloke in the world. But that's kind of relative to how much you've got coming in from the same grift that you're giving it out on, doesn't it? I mean, wouldn't it make a bit more sense for him to give that money to people that really need it without them having to perform like donkeys? That's what they want of the likes of you and me and our children. I just thought against that, against the Dylan Thomas thing, it was just a stark contrast. Right, what have we got next? I haven't got time for that clip. Right, I've got this one last. I will probably get yeeted for this, but there's a bit of a story behind it. Hang on. Excuse the burp. Right. I became a stand-up comic. I'm not anymore. Oh, don't forget, if you're new here, I'm a writer. Substack. Top link in the description. I just put a new story out last night before, called Reggae Sauce. It's about a few hours in a crack house. True story, like all my stories are. There's 21 stories on my Substack. It's totally free. If you sign up and put your email in, any new one I write gets sent out to your email. You don't get loads of spam. You get nothing else apart from if I upload a new story, it gets sent to you. It's a great way of supporting this channel because even though it's free, if I know loads of people are reading my stories, that makes me happy because writing's very important to me. It's my passion. Thank you. And that's the Substack advert over. Hello, Della. Nice to see you. Right. I was in rehab when I was 35, and it was the only one I'd ever stayed at and got clean at and realised I was clean. I was clean for the first time since I was about 15. And I remember thinking, what the fuck am I going to do? And I discovered an American comedian called Doug Stanhope, who I was writing. I've been writing since I was a very young man, well, not that young, about 19, 18. But I knew I wasn't going to be making much money out of that. But I thought, once I saw Stanhope, he's a raconteur. He doesn't tell jokes. He tells stories. And I thought, I can do that. I've been doing that all my life. I've always told stories. That's how I can stream every day and talk for hours, because I can talk for hours. And I thought, I've got stories. And I remember a bloke, he comes in here occasionally, and he said to me, he said to me in the rehab, he said, what are you going to do when you're out of it? I said, I'm going to be a stand-up comedian. He went, you don't tell jokes. He said, I've known you for 11 weeks. You haven't said a single joke. I said, yeah, but you've heard loads of stories. And I told him loads of stories, like my Substack ones, like the crack gnome story. And I said to him, well, there's that story about the disabled girl I had sex with on acid. And he went, you can't say that on stage. Now, I still know the girl, you know. There's nothing wrong with her being disabled, nothing wrong with having sex with her. But it's a funny story because of the acid. Interestingly, I'd done stand-up in England for about 10 years. That was the first story I had ever told as a comedian. The first time I got on stage and had a microphone, I told that story. 10 years later, that was the last story I ever told. My final gig, I ended with that story. And I remember thinking, I'm done with this bullshit. I even had agents say to me, you know, I was getting 5-star reviews. I was filling out 150 seaters. My Edinburgh shows sold out every night. There was all the standing room was taken up, all the seats. You know, I was doing well. But agents said to me, what can we do with you? Because comedians go on panel shows. And they said, who's going to put you on a panel show? No one's going to risk that. And I just thought, yeah. And it's a horrible life being a comic. It's really lonely. And they're all depressed and mental as well. Anyway, but it was Doug Stanhope who I realised by watching him that I could do that. Now, this is a 5-minute routine. I'm almost certainly getting yeeted. So I'm going to say my goodbyes now because I'm not going to interrupt it. I know Stanhope. We've had quite the embarrassing and many a faux pas relationship over the years. But this is, and again, we're talking about passion. Stanhope, he's still brilliant, but this was his golden era. This is, what is it? No Refunds, around that kind of time. And for me, this is almost a perfect 5-minute set. So hello, Barrett Zippo. So I'm going to play it all. We might get yeeted. If we do, ta-da! I won't bother coming back because, well, I might actually. I will hang around. If I get yeeted, it's 4-minute wait, but I will wait so we can just say some other things. I've got a couple of other things I could tell you, but I just hope we might be able to get through this. Check it out. This is Doug Stanhope. It's called Two-Headed Baby. And it's just, I think this is incredible. Pay attention.
No, did you see the two-headed baby they killed last month when they tried to cut it apart? This is hilarious. Do you know what I'm talking about? You know what? There was a two-headed. There've been 4 in the last year, all in Central America. I don't know what they put in the water, but I'm going down there but there were 4 in a year, and they tried to separate them all. I think 1 survived. 1 out of 4 they're good for, which still keeps you in the majors. But yeah. But the other ones, I understood why they cut it apart, because the other ones were the regular side-by-side Siamese twins, and then we've all seen that. So yeah, sure, lop one of them up, but right. It's attached at the sternum. Sure, cut them apart. It's a hack oddity. It's like having a bearded lady baby. Okay, we've seen it. Shave it. Go ahead. I don't. But this one was a special. Does anyone know what the fuck I'm talking about? It had the second head growing out of the top of the bottom head. It's like a totem pole. It was like a townhouse head baby. It's a condo, and that's unprecedented. Keep that one around, douchebag. You don't try to scissor that one apart. I want to see that one grow. I'll get the Guinness Book World of Records again to see this one as a full-grown little lady, right? Come on. They had to cut it off, and this is why I understood, because they had to try to take the top one off. Well, I mean, obviously, you can't cut the bottom one off and move the top one down. That wouldn't work. But they said they had to move. They took off the top head because it had an underdeveloped brain. It had little formed eyes and lips, but it had an underdeveloped brain, and you can't do that to the low baby without its consent, right? I mean, I have friends who work with developmentally disabled people and on their own free will, and it's a really ambitious thing, and you gotta have a lot of heart to do that, but you can't just stick a kid with a retard that close to it your whole life, just trying to go through your day as just trying to read your Nancy Drew mysteries, and it's up there going, Mom, I'm trying to read. It's drooling Cheerios on me, Mom. Drooling Cheerios. Stop it. You can't do that. Good, but I'm telling you, you know what? This club has some of the hottest waitresses you'll see in any club around here. And just let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. If I was upstairs at the bar and all of these waitresses were sitting along the bar, butt-ass naked, and a full-grown, two-headed girl baby walked into the bar for a cocktail, I would turn away from the naked girls and go straight to her like a bug light. Because that would be interesting. Fuck you. Yeah, I'm sick. Fuck, you wouldn't. Fuck. If a two-headed girl baby came into the bar and you're all alone sitting up there at last call, you're going to tell me you wouldn't at least get a knobber in the toilet? Just to tell your friends you finally had that menage a trois. They were twins, that's all I'm saying. They were twins. Fucking sisters. Not the retarded one. You fucking mouth fucked the low-headed baby. You wouldn't fuck the... You guys... And you'd have to do it in that 69 position with you on top. So that way your balls would muffle the mouth of the rubberhead. Because you can't come when you're, you're trying to concentrate. Hey, well, I want a swing set, man. Right? So you'd have to have the balls laid over. At least till you jizzed in that. And you certainly couldn't get it in the orthodox kneeling position, because then rubberhead's looking up at y'all wall-eyed, dude. Hello. Do you like my sister? No. Of course I like your sister. Look down. That's what I need. I need a 44-hole, two-headed baby girl. That's the only way I can come.
I can't believe we got through it. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Rags, I saw your request. If you don't know Stanhope, honestly, no refunds. Beer hall pooch. There's one that I'm forgetting that is the best one. Someone might know it in the chat, but honestly, go on a wild goose chase, because he's got his specials on YouTube, hour-long sets. He does a piece called "Fuck the Jews," and I kid you not, it's fucking incredible. I won't ruin it for you now, obviously, but there's another bloke who was just absolutely passionate about it. He's been doing that lark for 40-odd years. And he knew he was never, he actually did end up on telly. He was on the Man Show, and it was fucking shit. And he'll tell you that. But, he dedicated his life to something that meant a lot to him. And trust me, my first Edinburgh show that was my breakthrough act was called Sex Tourist. I had me, Jimmy Carr, and who's the Australian comic? Me, Jimmy Carr. Oh, fuck, I can see him. Big bloke, alcoholic. Alcopocalypse, his show was called that year. I can't remember. Jimmy, another Jimmy, I think. Does anyone know the bloke I'm talking about? Australian comic, talks about boozing a lot. It's not Rolf, no. Oh, God, why can't I think of his fucking name? Jim Jeffries, that's it. Fair play. Me, Jimmy Carr, and Jim Jeffries all got a courgette sent to us by a group called the Feminist Avengers. And I opened mine up, and it was a courgette, and he went, "Go fuck yourself." All right. But, I already knew that this wasn't going to happen. I sold out every night. Every night. You could not get a seat in my room. 28 gigs. And then I've done Sex with Children, about my own sexual abuse. I had a big double-page spread in the Scotsman. They sent photographers around, everything. And I just thought, I got so much shit for it. And here's what makes it difficult. It's all very well at Edinburgh because that's your name above the, you know, it's your show. So people know what they're coming to see. And that's great. That's why my Edinburghs were a success. But you go back to London and someone's putting on a night where they want 4 comics and they've seen that you've got all these 5-star reviews and this big write-up at Edinburgh. Oh, Chris, will you do like 20 minutes at my night? And you're like, yeah, all right. You get to the show, the opener goes on, and he's sort of like all fucking, yes, Jim Jeffries did go left. He absolutely did. He sold out because he didn't have the nut. You know, I just gave up for it. But Jim Jeffries thought, well, hang on a minute, I'm on to a winner here. But he went all social justice. But you're at a show and some bloke comes on and he's like fucking, what's his name? One of the Mighty Boosh, you know, just going, hello, I like stars and things. And everyone's laughing. And I'm thinking, yeah, I don't know how the story about fucking a disabled girl on acid's going to go down well. And it's just really difficult. And Doug Stanhope, because he had that passion, he just done it, and that's been his life. An absolute fair play to him. Because we need people like them. We need people like Elizabeth Taylor. We need people like Dylan Thomas. We need people like Doug Stanhope. We need passion. We need to contribute to the world. We don't need Mr. Beast. And that's what they want you to. That's you know, Stanhope doesn't get elevated. Stanhope gets pushed away. Mr. Beast gets elevated. PewDiePie gets elevated. These kind of nothing. These kind of, you know, they're sort of historical confetti. Okay. Oh, you came and went and made no effect on the world. And it's just, you know, it's just shocking. Look back at the painters of the 20th century. Look at your Paul Clays, your Picassos, your Kandinskys. You actually had some balls. And the writers back then, Kerouac, you know, Bukowski, Burroughs, David Foster Wallace. You know, they're just sort of hidden. These people don't get taught in universities. They I dread to think what writers they teach in universities now. Quango Patango or something, and Story of the River. And there goes my second strike. People, thank you very much to everyone who donated. A little bit thin on the ground, but that's all right. Me too. Thank you to my boy Steve and my man Rags for coming on. Thanks to Al Mack for being an absolute sport and coming on at the drop of an hat, and that was quite a good trick. That went well. And thank you most of all to all of you lot who keep coming back here. It's an absolute privilege to stream. We don't have to agree with each other, but we do have to do it respectfully, and we continue to do that. I really love this place, and bless you all. It means a lot to me. I hope you got something out of tonight's stream. I am making a video about living your life with passion and romance, because you take those two things out of it. And I've been in both. I've had both of those lives, and I can assure you, one's worth living, and one's just living. So bless you all. Enjoy the rest of your day. I know I haven't been streaming a lot lately, but work is fucking crazy because of the pound against the dollar. I'm brassic lint, so I'm having to do a lot more of that sort of stuff. But I've got a Dragon's Den video in the wood. I've got this passion and romance video coming. That's very kind, Little Red. Machano Capriccinata 22. Don't forget to give my Substack a go. If you don't like it, leave a comment and tell me why, because that'll help me, and that'll be nice. Nice one, Ludwig. Really appreciated. Bit of a Tuesday grift for the stream. Much love, Scrubs. Nice one, Ludwig. Thank you for all the lovely comments. Thank you, Little Red and Ludwig, for those late ones. It means the world to me. And here's an old 90s band called Household. Matt, that looks like your avatar there. Let's just say thank you to that. Thank you, Matt, for the tip jar. Cheers, Matt. Hope you're doing all right. Hoit to that. Thank you, Jambo. Tuesday £5 for Danger. Another belter. I am glad you enjoyed that. I never know if people like them. thank you, Dawn, and thank Dawn. It's been so lovely to see you here recently, like on the regs, so to speak. Means a lot to me and everyone else, no doubt. Here's cheers, Mousecat. Lovely. Here's an old 90s band singing Get It Out as requested by my man Rags. Ta-da! Boom.
You came in my dream, kissed me,
cheers, Mousecat,
loved me.
I'm gonna email you, Lulu.
Tears of a baby roll down your cheek. Your eyes are wide, so look around. You've loved to give, so get it out. Get it out anytime.
Cheers, Picard.
Love sits beside me. I feel complete.
Certainly do. Me too, Dawn.
You came in my dream, kissed me, loved me.
Hope it goes well, Baz.
Your eyes are wide, so look around. You've loved to give,
certainly is.
So get it out.
Cheers, Anglo.
Get it out anytime.
As much as I'd like to play another one, it's 3:15 in the morning. I woke up at 10 o'clock. I started work. I stopped work. I prepped the stream. I done the stream. I need some time to myself just going, what was that advert for the stroke? What was it? Face. Go on, piss off down your own end or you get a clip round the back of your ear. Hoit!